Day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters podcast number 2372. Today we are tackling the question of how do cultural traditions influence what gets remembered? Yes, and my apologies for being on almost an hour late. I had the handyman here who was lining the laundry cabinet, and it was a little noisy with the circular saw going and the hammering and all of that sort of stuff. But he left, so here we are. Anyway, so sorry, my voice has been going in and out all day, so I hope it holds out for this. So how do cultural traditions influence what gets remembered? Culture decides which stories are worth keeping. So, for example, with cultural values shape memory and storytelling, every family exists when a cultural framework that quietly shapes what is remembered and is what is overlooked. Cultural influences how people talk about their past, what they feel proud of, and what they're very uncomfortable sharing. Over time, these values determine which stories are repeated and which slowly fade away. So based on cultural values and shape the memory and the storytelling. Some cultures celebrate lineage and ancestry. In many cultures, ancestry is honored openly. Family lines, heritage, and ancestral achievements are spoken about with pride. Stories are intentionally passed down because they are seen as a source of identity and belonging. In these families, remembering the past is considered a responsibility, not a choice. Others prioritize humility and assimilation. In other cultures, especially migrating families, survival and fitting in mattered more than preserving the history. Talking about the past could feel risky or unnecessary. Achievements might be downplayed and differences softened in order to blend into the new society. As a result, many stories were quietly set aside. This happens a lot with political or religious persecution when people flee for those reasons. Going through World War II with those that fled from the war zones and things, especially the Jewish people, they came into America, and they very quietly just played down that they didn't advertise that they were Jewish. They often changed their names to make them more Americanized so that people wouldn't associate them with being Jewish, because they were in a new country and they didn't know at the time, is this safe? Who can we trust? If we tell the wrong person, are we going to get taken away? So this not only just the circumstance, the environment made it that they were very much in survival mode when they came to the United States, very much in survival mode. In any country where anybody has fled to as a political refugee or fled for religious persecutions and that sort of stuff, whatever country they have fled to, they keep it very close to their chest. They downplay it a lot, their cultural history and things, because they don't know who they can trust. And eventually over time, some of the stories will come out, but there are some that will be forgotten because of the circumstances. Traditions highlight certain achievements. Cultural traditions often elevate specific types of success, such as military service, business accomplishments, religious devotion. Everyday contributions, caregiving roles, and quiet resilience are rarely celebrated in the same way. This means some lives are remembered in detail, while others remain invisible. You'll be able to fill in a lot of these, some of these gaps when you're researching and you come across like the census reports, which turns around and says that the wife is a housekeeper or is the keeper of the house, or some form of that she's a housewife. And so, they're the unsung heroes a lot of times. They're the ones that hold the family together, usually the ones that hold the family together and become the center of the family. And they just do it in a very quiet, unassuming way. Unspoken rules influence what is remembered. Every family has unwritten rules about what can and cannot be talked about. These rules are rarely stated. Yet they are deeply felt. Over time, they shape collective memory. Stories that align with these rules are preserved, while those that challenge them are avoided, forgotten, or quietly erased, in the matter that they just don't talk about it. And this matters because understanding culture explains why some stories survive and others do not. So your practical takeaway for today is study cultural context alongside family records. If you want help interpreting the cultural influences, send us a private message and we'll be more than happy to set up a no obligation free discovery call with you to get you on the path of helping you discover some of your family stories. And in closing, memory is shaped not only by families, but by culture. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I'm going to go have a hot cup of lemon with some honey in it. Help soothe my throat a little bit. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here. So tomorrow, Friday, yeah. And we'll catch you back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konara.